Throw it away, he didn't deserve it anyway, my sister sneered, her glossed mouth curling as the server hesitated over the cake box. A plastic knife clinked. Someone laughed. My son's dinosaur candles lay unlit, bent like little spines. The room smelled of vanilla frosting and helium from half-deflated balloons. I felt the sound leave the room for a second, like the speakers cut out and only my heartbeat stayed. Hy everyone, my name is Marlowe Quinn. I don't raise my voice. I raise my son. I watched the server glance at me for permission, as if I were a guest, not the mother who booked the venue, paid the deposit, stuffed favor bags, labeled every little name card in green marker because green is my boy's favorite color. He was across the room, tugging at the paper banner that spelled his name a little crooked, whispering, "Mom, can we do candles now?" "Sweets make him hyper," my sister said to the room, loud enough for every aunt and cousin. "It's better this way. Besides, the bakery messed it up. The dinosaur looks like a lizard." Giggles. Eyes dropped. No one moved to stop the server carrying the cake toward the bin lined with a black bag. I stepped forward. The floor was slick with a Bose juice pouch. My son's sneakers squeaked. The world turned thin, like tracing paper, outlines, not warmth. I could see the fluorescent lights mirrored in the stainless steel trash lid. Click, open. Vanilla, blue frosting, the tiny sugar bones I'd sprinkled by hand, tilting into a mouth of plastic. "Wait," I said. Everyone waited for the old me, the diplomatic me, the peacemaker who turns humiliation into a joke. I saw my sister's eyebrows lift, bored and triumphant, the way she used to look at me when we were teenagers and she wore my jacket without asking. "Oh, relax, Ma," she said. "He'll forget by tomorrow." My boy's fingers slipped into mine. His palm was warm, sticky with melted candy. "Mom," he said, eyes big, searching my face for the weather forecast. "Come on, love," I whispered. "Let's go pick up your present." "What present?" he asked. "The one they can't throw away." I took him and left, walked past the buffet where my sister's diet lecture cupcakes were lined like soldiers, past my mother arranging napkins like bandages on a wound she refused to admit was bleeding, past the manager who mouthed, "Sorry," with eyes that weren't. Outside, the air was cold and honest. We drove without music. At a red light, my son traced a T-Rex on the fogged window and asked if the dinosaur was still hungry. "Not anymore," I said. "He's about to learn." The next morning, my phone buzzed against the kitchen counter. "Marlowe." Mom's voice was wet, trembling. Please talk to the venue before they cancel your sister's wedding." The kettle clicked off. Steam ribboned. I looked at the calendar, the same manager's name circled on a date 3 weeks away, and felt something in me settle like a coin landing heads. Her voice cracked like porcelain under pressure. "They called me this morning. Said there was a problem with the contract, something about outstanding balances, complaints, reviews. Marlowe, please, they won't hold her wedding if you don't smooth this over." I leaned against the counter, my son's half-eaten cereal softening into mush. The cartoon dinosaur on the box grinned up at me, ignorant. My free hand brushed his hair, still bed-tangled, smelling faintly of shampoo. He hummed to himself, building towers with the leftover candles. He didn't know yet that his birthday cake had ended in the trash, not his mouth. That memory was mine to carry. "Mom," I said, voice even. "You watched them throw his cake away." "That was your sister's idea," she rushed. "She didn't mean it like that. Families, they fight. But this, her wedding, it's everything. Everyone's coming. The church, the guests. Marlowe, you know how she is. If her venue cancels, it will destroy her." Destroy her. The word stuck, like a seed between teeth. Last night, my son had whispered, "Why didn't Grandma stop her?" I tucked him in without answering, because the truth was sharper than any bedtime story. My family had stood there, complicit in silence. "Mom," I said slowly, "they destroyed his birthday. And you want me to rescue her wedding?" Silence. I could hear her breathing, small and shaky, like she was trying to stitch guilt into a blanket to cover me. "You've always been stronger," she whispered. "You can handle things better than she can." There it was, the lifelong refrain. Stronger means quieter. Stronger means invisible. Stronger means, Give up your slice so she gets two. My son knocked over the candle tower. The tiny dinosaurs toppled, rolled off the table, scattered across the floor. He laughed once, then caught my expression and froze. His eyes mirrored mine, dark, serious, waiting. I lifted the phone back to my ear. "Mom," I said, my tone clipped like scissors through fabric. "If she wants a wedding, she can earn it without standing on my child's bones." "Marlo, don't." But I already had. The line felt like a severed cord, buzzing faintly in my hand. And for the first time, I didn't feel like mending it. By afternoon, the group chat lit up like a bonfire. "Sister, unbelievable. You're sabotaging my wedding over a kid's birthday cake? Cousin Lila, Marlo, don't be petty. He'll have other birthdays. Dad, fix this quietly. Don't embarrass the family." Embarrass the family. The same family that watched a 6-year-old's cake tossed into the trash. My thumb hovered over the screen, but I didn't type. Instead, I reread the venue contract, my name signed at the bottom. The deposit, the arrangements, the catering liaison, all routed through me. I had negotiated it, as a favor to my sister because she was too busy with dress fittings and Instagram hashtags. My boy sat cross-legged on the rug, coloring in dinosaurs with bold red strokes. "Can I use the green?" he asked softly, offering me the crayon. I took it, the wax warming in my palm. The green reminded me of the crooked banner with his name, his day, stolen. A knock rattled the door. When I opened it, Mom stood there, coat half-zipped, mascara smudged like war paint. "Marlo," she said, voice shaking, "you don't understand. They'll blacklist us from every venue in town. Think about what people will say." "People already said plenty yesterday," I replied. And not one of them defended him. She stepped inside, her heels clacking against my hardwood. "He's just a child, he'll forget." That word again. Forget. As if memory were optional. As if humiliation evaporated like spilled water. I glanced at my son, who was watching us now, his crayon paused mid-stroke. "He won't forget," I whispered. Mom reached for my hand, the same hand that once bandaged scraped knees, that once braided my hair for school. "Please, fix this. For me." Her touch felt foreign, like a stranger rehearsing affection. I pulled back. "I fixed things my whole life. Maybe it's her turn." The look on her face crumbled. She turned away, muttering something about shame, about neighbors, about appearances. As the door shut behind her, the silence pressed heavy. My son crawled into my lap, whispering, "Mom, are we in trouble?" I kissed his hair. "No, love. For once, they are." The next morning, I woke to 27 missed calls. My sister's voice filled the voicemail inbox like venom poured into glass. "Marlo, you're insane. The venue says the balance is overdue. They won't confirm until you clear it. Fix this or I swear you'll regret it." Each message grew more desperate, more shrill. I let them play as I made pancakes for my boy, flipping each one golden. He laughed when the syrup dripped too fast. His joy, small and pure, was the only sound I cared about. By noon, Dad arrived. He didn't knock, just walked in, like the house still belonged to him. "Enough games," he barked. His cologne stung the air. "This isn't about you. Stop holding her wedding hostage." I set the spatula down, met his eyes. "Hostage?" My voice was calm, almost amused. "Funny. That's how it felt when they threw his cake away." Dad's jaw tightened. She was joking. Joking. I repeated. Humiliating a child is a joke now. He ran a hand through his thinning hair, pacing. "This is bigger than feelings. Do you want our family name dragged through the mud?" I almost laughed. The same man who never showed up to parent-teacher conferences now preached about names and honor. My son peeked from the doorway, clutching his dinosaur plush. I tilted my head toward him. "He's the only name I care about protecting." Dad exhaled, long and sharp. "If you don't fix this, you're out. Don't come to Christmas, don't call, don't expect a cent." The words should have hurt. Instead, they clarified. Like a mirror wiped clean of fog, I finally saw them, all of them, for what they were. Not family. Just spectators to my pain. I walked to the counter, picked up the contract folder, and tapped the page with my signature. This paper doesn't say your name. Or hers. It says mine. If the venue cancels, that's not my problem anymore. He stared, fists clenched, but no comeback came. He left in silence, the door rattling behind him. My son padded over, slipped his hand into mine. Mom, he whispered, are we still having my birthday cake? Yes, I said softly. But this time, no one gets to touch it but you. By the weekend, the whispers started. Neighbors at the market leaned over fruit bins, lowering their voices. Did you hear? The wedding might not happen, something about the contract. At church, heads turned when I walked in, eyes full of pity laced with curiosity. My sister had already begun spinning her version, painting me as cold, vindictive, unstable. The scapegoat. Always the scapegoat. I said nothing. Silence was sharper than defense. Instead, I focused on my son. We baked a new cake together in our small kitchen, chocolate layers, messy sprinkles, candles lined neatly in his favorite green. When he blew them out, he grinned like the world had been set right. But I knew better. Justice still hung in the air, waiting. That night, my phone buzzed with a new message. Not from my sister. From the venue manager. Ms. Quinn, this is regarding your sister's booking. As the primary contract holder, we need clarification. Payment is incomplete. Complaints were filed about conduct at the last event. Unless addressed, we'll proceed with cancellation. My thumb hovered. I could reply. I could fix everything with one email. But my boy's laughter still echoed from the kitchen, frosting on his cheeks like war paint. The next morning, Mom showed up again, her desperation louder now. They're threatening to pull out, Marlo. Do you understand? She's humiliated. Everyone's calling me, asking what happened. Please, just step in. Save this family. Her words cracked, but her eyes stayed sharp, calculating. Love mixed with manipulation, an old recipe I'd swallowed for years. I poured her tea, set it gently on the table. Mom, did you ever stop to think who saved me? Who saved him? I gestured to my son, building a Lego fortress on the floor. Nobody. Not once. Her lips trembled, but no answer came. I leaned back, folded my arms. Tell my sister this. If she wants her wedding, she'll have to crawl through the same silence she shoved us into. And if she can't bear the weight? Maybe the problem isn't me. For the first time, my mother didn't argue. She just looked away, her silence finally on my side. The cancellation notice arrived on a Thursday afternoon. An official email, crisp and cold. Due to unresolved contractual and behavioral concerns, we regret to inform you that the reservation for October 14th is terminated. Deposit is non-refundable. I read it twice, then once more out loud. My son giggled at the way I exaggerated terminated, thinking it was a monster word. To him, it was just another funny sound. To me, it was thunder breaking open years of quiet storms. By evening, my phone exploded. Sister, you ruined everything. I hope you're happy. Do you know how much money this cost me? Cousin Lila, Marlo, the whole family's embarrassed. Couldn't you have just let it go? MOM, please call me. She hasn't stopped crying. People are talking. I scrolled, expressionless, then turned the phone face down on the table. My son tugged my sleeve. Mom, can we go for ice cream? Like a celebration. Celebration? I asked, surprised. He nodded, earnest. Because they can't throw this away. The simplicity of his logic made my throat tighten. We went out, just the two of us, the night air crisp, the cones melting too quickly, sticky fingers and laughter smudged against the stars. For the first time in months, I didn't feel like the ghost of myself. I felt present. Alive. When we got home, another message waited. This time from Dad. Dad, you think this is revenge? You've disgraced us. You'll regret crossing blood like this. I stared at the words. Regret. Disgrace. Blood. Heavy tokens they used to chain me. But that chain was broken now. I typed back, slowly, deliberately. Blood doesn't make family. Protecting my son does. I hit send. The screen glowed in the dark, final and irreversible. Upstairs, I tucked my boy into bed. He whispered sleepily, "Mom, dinosaurs always win, right?" I smoothed his hair and smiled. "Yes, love. The real ones always do." Outside, my phone buzzed again and again with their fury. But in the quiet of his room, all I heard was his steady breathing, my only proof of victory. The fallout came fast. By Saturday, word spread that my sister's dream wedding had evaporated. Vendors pulled out, the church board declined their booking, and the photographer she bragged about online posted a vague update about scheduling conflicts. On social media, her curated fairytale feed turned into panic. Captions once filled with lace details and countdowns now read like veiled accusations. "Some people can't stand to see others happy." Comments poured in, half pity, half gossip. I didn't engage. I didn't need to. Silence was my sharpest instrument. That evening, Mom called again. Her voice carried exhaustion instead of anger. "She's devastated, Marlo. She says you've destroyed her future." I sat at the window, watching my son chase fireflies in the yard, his laughter chasing away the dusk. "No, Mom," I said evenly. "I destroyed her habit of standing on me to build her future. There's a difference." Mom sniffled. "Do you even hear yourself? This bitterness will eat you alive." I looked at my reflection in the glass, my face calmer than I expected. Bitterness is what they fed me. What I feel now is clean. That night, my sister showed up at my door. No warning, no text. Her makeup streaked, her hair undone, so different from the polished mask she wore at every gathering. She pushed inside without asking. "You think you've won," she spat. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Do you know how small you've made me look?" I kept my voice level. "Small is how you made him feel. Remember the cake?" She faltered, just for a heartbeat, before her rage returned. "He's a kid. He'll forget." But behind me, my son's voice carried from the stairs, soft but clear, "I didn't." The words hit harder than anything I could have said. My sister turned, her face draining of color at the sight of him clutching his dinosaur plush, brave enough to speak the truth aloud. She sputtered, grasping for a comeback, but none came. For once, she had no audience to applaud her cruelty. Just the silence of a child who refused to forget. And me, standing steady in it. She stood frozen in my doorway, mascara running, mouth opening and closing like a fish starved of air. My son's small voice lingered between us, heavier than any accusation. I stepped forward, my tone quiet but final. "You wanted a wedding built on humiliation. You got the lesson instead." Her eyes brimmed, but no tears fell. She turned on her heel and stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The sound shook the house, but not me. I locked the door, then turned back to my boy. He looked up at me, uncertain. "Did I do bad?" I knelt, pulling him into my arms. "No, love. You did brave. You told the truth." The next morning, I brewed coffee in peace. No buzzing phone, no pleading calls. Only the sound of my son humming while building his Lego fortress. A fortress I realized symbolized more than toys. It was the life I was rebuilding, brick by brick, where no one could throw away what mattered most. My revenge wasn't their ruin, it was our freedom. Their silence became my shield. I finally exhaled, lightness filling the room. My son's laughter answered it.